So far, 2023 has been an epic year for new golf club releases. However, all the talk so far has been around Paradigms, Stealth 2s, Aerojets and G430s, mainly in the driver category. Cleveland, however, has come up trumps with a golf club that can dramatically improve your game without worrying about trying to add an extra 3 to 4 yards for £550. Guys, this is the brand new Cleveland CBX Full Face 2 wedge. Now, the Full Face wedge was one of my favourite clubs in 2021. I absolutely loved it. And what they've done here, they've added just a little bit more technology to help you play better shots. Guys, I've just used this over on our second channel, Get Good at Golf, where we try and help you get good at golf Monday right through to Friday. Go and check that out. The comments have been going crazy asking just what this golf club is. You see, what Cleveland have done here, we've still got that huge cavity on the back, we've still got the full face scoring lines, which I absolutely love, and we've even also got that zip core technology. Guys, I've been in the studio testing this golf club to see just how much spin we can get and how much consistency we can get with this club. Now, the big thing here, the huge factor that Cleveland have done, we've been screaming out for this for quite some time, we've got a graphite shaft in this wedge. This is a Project X Catalyst 80 spinner shaft and is designed to help you generate a little bit more backspin on your shots on and around the greens. So what I love about this is, you see, Tiger Woods always wanted heavier shafts in his wedges. However, funnily enough, we're not all Tiger Woods. So if I use this wedge around the greens, what this allows me to do is feel the weight of the head. You see the spin on that? We're downwind here as well. Is feel the weight of the wedge head a little bit more, so I can generate much more distance control, yes, from 15 yards, but also back from 50, 60, 70 yards, which I'm going to discuss inside in the studio. I really like how Cleveland have done this. It's not something, go on then, it's not something which many brands have done so far. You think of wedges, you think of Vokey's, you think of Mac Daddy's, you think of tailor-made milled grind wedges. I'm yet to see a wedge that has taken it to the extreme of putting a graphite shaft in here in its standard wedge. I absolutely love that Cleveland are thinking about the everyday golfer for this club, and I also love the way it looks and feels as well. I could definitely, in fact, I'm going to take this a step further. I might well put this club, I'm being very attacking there, Chris, aren't I? I might well put this club in my bag and test it week in, week out through the season, because I think that this can help you so much with your short game shots. And this is generally where, that's a better one, look at that release out. This is generally where you will save yourself so many shots around the greens if you can be more consistent with your strikes. So for mid to high handicap golfers, this could be the toughest shot in golf. It's only a little chip shot, but we're going over a bunker. We need to get some dynamic loft to this club, and there's a few factors what Cleveland have introduced to this club that helps you do this just a little bit more consistently. I didn't even strike that well, and it might well go in. Oh, it's just stopped short. See, so we've got the bounce on the bottom here. I've got 12 degrees of bounce with loads of camber on here. I really enjoy the way that looks down at the ball, but also the graphite shaft, yes, we're going back to that, it helps you release the club just a little bit more consistently. So we all know that graphite shafts in putters are designed to help you get better distance control, and this is a very similar factor to help you release that club more consistently, slide under the ball, check that out, Chris, and then from there hit more consistent shots even with this very difficult shot. I'm a huge fan of how this wedge does perform. It almost feels, I tried to duff it earlier for the Get Good at Golf video, and this is how it went. We've got a Cleveland CBX wedge here, has a nice cavity on the back, it's got a load of bounce on the bottom, and I could almost duff this wedge close to that flag. That's going to be around tour average. Will that be inside tour average?
It'll be pretty close.
Pretty close. My golf ball was here, guys, and I've hit the ground way before, and it even wasn't a great strike, it came out the toe. So in this game, it's not about how good is your good. The best players in the world are phenomenal with wedges, and even high handicap golfers can be good with wedges on occasion. The difference is the best players in the world, when they have a bad day, it isn't that bad. It's still around 10, 15 feet from here. You see, guys, it's almost impossible to duff just because Cleveland have really thought about how, like, this shot isn't that easy. There's like a ledge I've got to get it on. See, the other two have run past, but this is really just making me think, right, how do I hit that distance? I can feel the weight of that wedge head because the shaft isn't getting in the way. Sometimes a steel shaft with a club like this can get in the way. If I try and play a nice high shot here, it's really easy just to throw that loft at the ball and then throw it down at the ball, release the club and present plenty of dynamic loft. Right, let's jump in the bunker. Let's see just how this Cleveland CBX Full Face 2 wedge does perform out of the sand. We all know I'm a bit of a wizard at the moment out of the sand, but half those shots weren't centre struck, they were out of the toe, and it still performed pretty well for quite a difficult shot. So if the pitch over the bunker is the hardest shot in golf, when you've duffed it in the bunker, if you've not got the new Cleveland CBX Full Face 2 wedge, this is probably the second hardest shot. How does it perform out of this bunker? So what I really like about this is it just seems to glide through the sand, and that's because we've got that 12 degrees of bounce on here. If I play it with a little bit more speed, you'll see how I can get a lot more loft and a lot more trajectory out of the bunker. One thing that I'm really comfortable with here is those full face grooves, because I know that I don't necessarily need, go on then, we must make one. I don't necessarily need to hit the centre of the face. This is actually a really good example of that, because I hit that a little bit high out the face, a little bit out the toe, and you can see that it actually stopped really close to the flag. Generally, if you don't have those full face scoring lines, you might find it rather difficult to get the consistency, let me not fall back into the bunker, to hit those shots. I mean, I really feel like I'm just making a lot lighter work of these shots than maybe I would do if I had my normal Vokey or even Mizuno wedge in there. Right, last one. Oh yeah. Go on then, go on! Oh. Guys, that is the brand new Cleveland CBX Full Face 2 wedge. I absolutely love what Cleveland have done with this. They're making short game easier for the everyday golfer. If you've not tried the brand new Project X Catalyst 80 spinner shaft yet in a wedge, make sure you do, because this could well be an absolute game changer. So guys, as you can tell, I'm really impressed with the versatility of this wedge around the greens. For me, that is the real kind of starting point of when you are testing wedges. It's also really important to get inside, test them for gapping, see exactly what lofts you want, exactly how far they do go, but also see what kind of spin you generate, see what kind of dispersion you're getting, and what kind of ball flight you're getting as well, because different wedges with different weighting profiles will generate higher trajectories or lower trajectories depending on what you go for. So you can see here that I've hit quite a few consistent shots. I really enjoyed the feel of this wedge, and as we look at the trajectory, you'll see it's fairly consistent as well. We then look into the numbers. We've got an average spin of 9,200, which, to be fair, is on the low side. I expected a little bit more spin from this wedge, but pretty consistent distances there, averaging at 95 carry for a 58 degree wedge. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Smash that subscribe button. I'll see you all at exactly the same time tomorrow.